Every one of us, at some point, feels like we're being tossed around by the storms of life. It could be a careless word from a friend that ruins your day, a setback at work that sends you spiraling, or a broken relationship that feels like the end of the world. These moments can leave us feeling helpless and overwhelmed. But what if I told you there's a way to not just survive, but to thrive amidst the chaos? Today, we're going to dive deep into the wisdom of the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher king who mastered the art of maintaining peace in a tumultuous world. His teachings on Stoicism aren't just philosophical musings. They are practical strategies that have powered leaders and thinkers through the ages, and they can empower us today. By the end of this video, you'll have a toolkit of Stoic principles to help you cultivate an unshakable inner core and reclaim control over your own inner world. This isn't about becoming cold or unfeeling. It's about gaining the freedom to engage with life more fully, because your well-being is no longer chained to outcomes you can't command. Stick with me, and let's explore how these ancient secrets can be applied to our modern lives. If you're here, you're not like the majority. You're someone who sees the value in diving deep. So consider yourself an exception. 1. Focus on what you can control. Our first lesson captures a crucial principle that is often overlooked in our modern rush to manage everything: understanding the dichotomy of control. This idea is central to all Stoic practice, and it can transform how we approach our daily lives. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, late for a crucial meeting. Your heart pounds, frustration boils over, and you find yourself blaming everyone and everything. You're miserable, yet the traffic doesn't move any faster. This reveals a profound truth about human nature. Much of our suffering comes from a desperate attempt to control what is not ours to control. Stoicism teaches us to draw a clear line. On one side are the things within your power, your thoughts, your judgments, your choices, your actions. On the other side is, essentially, everything else: the traffic, the weather, and what other people think, say, or do. This realization is not a cause for despair, but for liberation. The suffering doesn't arise from the events themselves, but from our judgment that this shouldn't be happening. Marcus Aurelius, who faced war, plague, and betrayal, constantly reminded himself of this. His peace came not from his power as emperor, but from his power to direct his focus only toward his own actions and thoughts. So, how do we practice this? When you feel a surge of anger or anxiety, pause. Ask yourself, is the source of this within my control or outside of it? If it's outside your control, your work is to practice acceptance. If it's within your control, like your own harsh judgment, then you have a sphere of action. The psychological benefits of this practice are significant. It reduces the cognitive load on our brains and frees us from the unnecessary burden of trying to command the universe. This is the first and most critical step to building your inner fortress. 2. Practice negative visualization. This second lesson sounds counterintuitive, even pessimistic at first, but it is one of the most transformative tools in the Stoic arsenal: the practice of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. Most of us live with a low-grade fear of losing what we cherish. This attachment creates anxiety. The Stoic solution is radical. Instead of running from the thought of loss, you should intentionally and calmly contemplate it. This advice might sound a bit dramatic, but what Marcus Aurelius is getting at here is the concept of mental preparation. It's a cornerstone of Stoic resilience. Stoicism teaches us to anticipate and mentally rehearse for the worst, not to fill us with dread, but to diminish the shock and pain when difficulties do occur. Think about it this way. Athletes practice under tough conditions to prepare for competition. Similarly, by mentally rehearsing adversity, we train our minds to handle it with less panic and more poise. Moreover, and perhaps more importantly, this practice is a profound tool for cultivating gratitude. When you take a moment to imagine your life without something you value, and then return to the present to find it still there, your appreciation for it multiplies. Marcus practiced this by reflecting on the mortality of his loved ones and the fleeting nature of his own power. This didn't make him sad. It made him appreciate the present moment more deeply. Let's be clear what this practice is not. It is not anxious, catastrophic worrying. It is a structured, rational exercise. By practicing it, you are vaccinating yourself against the shocks of life. This is the paradoxical power of contemplating loss. It is one of the surest paths to appreciating life. 3. Accept impermanence. The third lesson from Marcus Aurelius reveals a profound truth about our existence, one we often resist: the law of impermanence. Nothing lasts. The universe is transformation, he wrote. Our life is what our thoughts make it. He often used the metaphor of a river to describe existence, where everything is swept along in a ceaseless flow. Our suffering often comes from trying to build a dam in this river. We cling to pleasant moments, to relationships, to our identity in a specific role, and feel lost when it inevitably changes. The Stoic approach to detachment isn't about refusing to enjoy these things. It's about learning to hold them lightly, appreciating them while they are here, without trying to possess them forever. This perspective is incredibly freeing. It allows us to engage with life fully, in the present moment, which is all we ever truly have. By deeply understanding this, we reduce our attachment to outcomes. If we succeed, we can feel joy without becoming arrogant, knowing success is transient. If we fail, we can feel disappointment without despair, knowing this too shall pass. A powerful way to practice this is through a quiet meditation on the flow of life. Visualize yourself on a riverbank. Watch as both beautiful and ugly objects representing your joys and sorrows float by. Acknowledge them and let them go. You are the observer on the bank, not the objects in the water. By embracing impermanence, you align yourself with the nature of reality. This is not a passive resignation, but an active, wise participation in the beautiful, ever-changing dance of life. 4. Cultivate inner strength through rational thought. This fourth lesson is perhaps the most psychologically profound, a truth the Stoics uncovered centuries before modern therapy. Our emotions are not caused by external events, but by our judgments about them. Imagine someone criticizes you. The pain you feel doesn't come from their words, but from your internal judgment. They disrespected me, or this is an attack, Marcus Aurelius wrote. If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. And it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now. This perspective encourages us to focus on our internal responses rather than external provocations. It means you are the author of your emotional experience. This principle allows us to create a space between a stimulus and our response. In that space lies our freedom. We can step back and investigate our own initial impressions. When a strong emotion arises, ask, what are the objective facts? And what story am I telling myself about those facts? A key exercise for this is Stoic journaling, focused on what we might now call cognitive reframing. When you feel an overwhelming emotion, write down the objective event, then your initial judgment, and finally, challenge that judgment. Ask yourself if it's true, or just one possible interpretation. By critically examining our impulses with the aid of philosophical wisdom, we can begin to make choices that are not dictated by fleeting emotions, but are the result of careful thought and reflection. This practice not only strengthens our mental fortitude, but also helps us live more harmoniously with our values. 5. Embrace solitude and self-reliance. Our final lesson for mastering emotional detachment is a principle Marcus Aurelius held dear. His advice to find a retreat in his own soul emphasizes the value of solitude in Stoic philosophy. This guidance is not an encouragement towards isolation, but rather an invitation to engage in deep self-reflection and introspection. In our fast-paced, interconnected world, the noise of everyday life can drown out our inner voice. Many people confuse solitude with loneliness, but Stoicism teaches that true solitude is a state of rich self-awareness. It's an essential practice for strengthening the self, because it's difficult to achieve emotional detachment if your sense of worth is entirely dependent on others. Relying on external validation is like building a house on sand. Self-reliance, in the Stoic sense, means anchoring your well-being within your own character and principles. Embracing solitude allows you to get to know yourself without the distorting influence of other people's expectations. It's in these quiet moments that you can build your inner citadel, a mental fortress that is secure and self-sufficient. To practice this, schedule time to be alone with your thoughts, without distraction. When making a decision, first consult your own reason and values before seeking external approval. This builds confidence in your own judgment. By learning to be content in your own company, you detach your well-being from the unpredictable world of external validation. Relationships then become a joyful addition to your life, not a desperate requirement for it. This is the ultimate freedom that self-reliance provides. Conclusion. We have journeyed through 5 profound lessons from the mind of a Roman emperor. Stoicism teaches us the value of focus, the power of our judgment, the importance of preparedness, the wisdom in embracing impermanence, and the clarity that solitude can bring. Each of these principles challenges us to turn inward and refine our character, to confront our lives with both honesty and courage. These are practical tools for building a fortress of inner calm, clearing away the debris of anxiety and fear so that you can engage with the world with purpose. Remember, the path to wisdom is long and challenging, but every step you take is a step towards a more resilient and meaningful life. So, I will leave you with a challenge from Marcus Aurelius himself, one that encapsulates this entire philosophy. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. If these lessons from Marcus Aurelius resonated with you, and you wish to continue exploring the path of Stoic wisdom, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content on philosophy for modern life. Share this video with someone who you think might benefit from building their own inner fortress. And in the comments below, I would love to hear, which of these 5 lessons do you find most challenging or most needed in your life right now? Thank you for watching.